For my own mental well-being, I just felt like I said what I said, and I was brave enough to put that out there and keep that up as long as I did. Hey guys, TazzyPhe here. How is it going? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new to this channel, this is probably not the best introductory video. Just gonna throw that out there. This is really a follow-up to another video that I made I would say a couple years ago almost. Basically, it was very intense. It was a rant about Arab people, about Arab supremacy. It was a lot. It was probably one of the most intense, and the reaction to it was the most intense videos I've ever made in my whole time of being on YouTube. I have never had people outpour to me so much in my life. I have never had a video where so many people messaged me, I just have never had that. It was crazy. It's not up anymore, so I can't even reference that and tell you guys to go watch it. Maybe one day I'll put it back up, but really this video is a follow-up to that video. I wanted to talk about the reasons why I made the video. I wanted to talk about why I took it down, and then I also wanted to talk about how I feel about the video now. To start off, why I made the video. I grew up in a predominantly Arab environment. I would say like majority of my life. I have always been around Arab people, and the closest people in my life to me are Arab. And so it was coming from a place of like, I was really hurt because I think I came to this realization that there's nothing I can really do to make them see me as an equal, or maybe I was dealing with my own inferiority complex. I don't know. But I saw this TikTok of this guy, and he was making fun of Desi Imam reciting Quran, or like talking about like, oh, going to the masjid, and yeah, totally making fun of it. And I just lost it. I lost it. I don't know why that was the thing. That was the straw that broke the camel's back. But a rant was born and uploaded on the internet. I was just kind of going off about all sorts of things. I was like talking about how, you know, Arab Muslims think they're superior to Pakistani or Indian or whatever Bangladeshi Muslims just because they're Arab. I still feel like that's true. I think most people probably won't acknowledge it, but I think there is that. And when you look into history, if you watch my Desi inferiority complex video, things would make a little bit more sense. But yeah. But the reason that I uploaded it was I think it was like just so many years of this like built up just being upset about all the comments, all the microaggressions, the things that were just said and done to me, like, you know, everything from like being bullied to, you know, just like the random comments that people make. There were so many comments and things that were made over the years that was just very annoying. And so I think that was just like my breaking point, because, you know, when you're a minority in any situation, although funny enough, we're not really the minority, but when you are a minority, like I was growing up, yeah, you kind of develop these like inferiority things where like you think that you're less than other people, or like you try to mimic them so that you can like fit in, but then you come to this realization that you'll never be them, and so you'll never be good enough, and it's just like this. It's this total mind F. That's where it came from. It came from a very personal place. So I'm going to get into that in my next point. But the reason that I took down the video, I want to reiterate that although I'm going to explain why I took down the video, this video is not an apology. To all the people who took the liberty of commenting or messaging me and letting me know that Arabs actually are inherently superior to me, or, you know, commented on my posts about Palestine, telling me to shut the hell my mouth, nice anti-Arab video, I just have some really nice words for you, but you know, we won't talk about those. So the real reason that I took down the video was because the reaction was very intense. Just plain and simple in both ways. I was flooded with emails and DMs and comments of people telling me how they experienced the same thing. But on the other hand, I also, you know, I've made some controversial videos in the past. I think one of my first videos made it to a white supremacy forum. So, you know, I've received hate before, but this one, I just had anxiety on another level. The kind of hate that I was getting. I think it was like I was getting stressed to go to the masjid, and I was worried about people who have no idea who I am seeing clips of this video out of context and like just automatically hating me, because that's what people on the internet were doing. It was a 20-minute long video, and people were like purposefully not listening to the parts where I said like Arabs are not a monolith, this does not reflect blah blah, or like, you know, saying like sensible things. People were not caring about that, which also made me realize that like context really matters. I just felt like out of control of the situation and out of control of the context, because I know the context of my life, but other people don't. And so it was like this sweeping paintbrush thing that was going on. And I don't know, it was just like stressing me out. And I think most people won't understand what that's like, because most people don't make content on the internet. Most people aren't on the internet like that. So for my own mental well-being, I just felt like I said what I said, and I was brave enough to put that out there and keep that up as long as I did. I just felt like, let me private it. I took, Ramadan this year, and I was like, I'm going to private it during Ramadan. And if I feel like I don't want to keep it up after some time has passed, if I feel like making it public again, like we'll just see how I feel. And honestly, where I'm at right now, like I don't really feel like I want to put it up again. Maybe I'll make it unlisted, but I know that it's been chopped up, and I'm sure you could find it if you tried. But I think the reason why I took it down is because, it wasn't like another video where I sat down and I made a script and I took my time. It just wasn't really my style. It was like no script, ranting. And the real core of it is that it was something that was very personal to me. And I didn't like having that on the internet, because even as I would move forward and, kind of feel like I'm overcoming these feelings, every time someone commented, it was like a reminder to me. It was like a trigger, and it was making me unhappy, and it would instantly ruin my mood. Like it was to that point where I would read a comment and I would just like be having fun or like living my life, and I would just be in such a bad mood. And so how I feel about it now, I feel like personally that video was very necessary for me. I think that recently I've had this weird shift when it comes to my relationship with making content, and I've started to see the ways that how making things, being vulnerable, posting them on the internet, and then learning from what happens after that, it's been really transformational for me as a person. So in the same way, that video just taught me a lot. It taught me a lot. I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about the way the internet works and the way that other people process the things that you say. So it was a 20-minute long video where I specifically say that Arabs are not a monolith, and that it didn't apply to everyone, and that, it was about my experience. So, I put it in a certain context, but people did not care. They hear what they want to hear and don't care about context, because that's just not the way media works. That's not the way that's not the way the internet works. That's not the way human beings work, I feel like. So, aside from that, I do think that the video is very healing for me. It kind of began this process of me understanding that I wasn't alone, and that these were real things in society. And it got me digging into history. And then it just kind of felt like I was finding these pieces of the puzzle, and that way I could just move on from it. Weirdly enough, I also got an apology from someone who used to bully me as a child. I don't know if it had anything to do with the video, but the timing was really weird. It was this strange experience for me, because it's like, first of all, people don't really get that kind of closure, but it was like I needed this thing to happen so that I could acknowledge it and stop holding on to that anger and just move on with my life. And that's what it is, There was also a lot of sentiment in my comment section where people were like, Daisies are so racist, so they have no place to talk like that, or haha, this is hilarious because Daisies do that to other people. And I think I've come to a place where I'm like, at first I was like, yeah, you're right. Like, who am I to talk? But I've come to a place now where I'm like, just because Daisies have colorism and racism and like things in their own society doesn't mean that I'm not allowed to talk about my own experiences. And I can't speak for other people. It was a learning experience for me as well, and like not caving to the pressure of other people like telling me how to act or what to do or whatever. So overall, I feel many things about that video. I don't have any regrets about making it and putting it up, but the reason that it's not up right now is because I just want to move on, and I'm not sure if I want to keep it unlisted or just keep it private, but I want to like grow from that experience. I want to keep moving on, and I think it helped people. There were definitely people that I think benefited from that video, whether it was like understanding how other people feel who are not like you, or for people who went through it and just like never realized that, oh, other people go through it too. Oh, that's what it was. That's what this feeling has been. Because I think also some of us develop, I hate the word trauma. I hate it. I feel like it's overused, but I feel like some of us develop religious trauma. I've noticed that a lot in my life recently, because I was like, I went to an Islamic school, and, I was very like community centered person. Sometimes when you like hate things that happened to you in the past, you like associate everything with that. And until you're able to dissect things, you can't overcome it, and you can't just move on with your life. You kind of just like throw out the whole thing. And I don't want to do that. I want to be able to go and be in, a community. I want to be able to practice without feeling like these pangs of pain from like things that happened to me when I was younger. I'm still working through that. I'm not there yet, but I feel like the video making that connecting with people, even the backlash. I think it just helped me in processing everything and moving forward in this. I think I've just kind of changed as a person as well. I've realized like my own ignorance just in general. Again, this is not an apology. I'm just saying like I realize like when you're American or, you know, not even American, when you live in a certain region of the world, personally, I think I have exposure to a lot more cultures than your average American. And I think I'm probably a lot more well-rounded. I don't know what the word is. Like, I'm definitely more whatever. I mean, that's my opinion. I've just been exposed to a lot. I feel like I realize also like, wow, I have a long way to go. Like, I don't know a lot. And that's the nice thing about seeking knowledge. And that's the nice thing about being brave and like doing stuff like that, is that you learn that you don't know anything, but that's helpful for you because you also have to keep trying to figure things out. Because if you don't, then you just remain in this state of like ignorance, and that state of ignorance just like hurts you. So what I mean by that is like, you know, if I don't ever realize like, oh, Arab supremacy is a thing. Oh, in history, blah, blah, blah happened. Oh, other people go through this. Oh, wait, the Middle East is huge. Oh, wait, this is different from this. I mean, I already know those things on a basic level. I went to an Islamic school for 10 years and I learned Arabic for 10 years. I can't speak it. Of course. What was the curriculum over there? I don't know. It was not good. That's all I'm going to say. I could make a whole video about like the things that people said and did in Islamic school. That was a trauma on its own. That's all I'm gonna say. I call it Islamic school, but it was an Arabic Islamic school. Like it was like you learned both. You had Arabic studies and Islamic studies. So and regular general core classes. But yeah, I feel like some of y'all have been asking for an update, so that's my update. Not that I have to give you an update, but here it is. You know, I'm not sure how I feel about this frame. Like I feel like there's too much space. Like, but then when I fill the frame, I feel like, or when I get too close, I feel like it's too much of me. I feel like there's a happy medium that I can't seem to figure out. So anyway, all right, guys, I am tired. This is my third video of today. I am exhausted. TazzyPhe out. Bye.